They absolutely clowned the Chargers last week. Now the spotlight swings to Houston, a squad with championship blood that just forced 5 turnovers and took one all the way to the house. I genuinely believe the locker room took that narrative to heart. It's like, yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Houston's defense is straight-up nightmare fuel. Seattle and Denver are in that same terrifying conversation. But that performance was a declaration. You hit the nail on the head, coming from a guy who lived this league for decades, grinding as both a player and a head coach. You catch all the noise outside the building glorifying everyone else's defensive units. And look, Houston earned those stripes, but New England is standing tall and shouting, "We are monsters." rewind just 12 months, and this franchise was a 4-13 train wreck staring into the abyss. Fast forward to right now, a 14-3 powerhouse. One single win away from punching a ticket to the Super Bowl. That Patriot mystique didn't fade away. Mike Vrabel just reloaded the chamber. The dynasty isn't just some dusty memory anymore. It is a screaming siren to every other team in the league. To truly appreciate the Phoenix-style rise of the 2025 Patriots, you have to dig through the wreckage they climbed out of. For 2 decades, Foxborough was a black hole where opposing dreams went to be buried. But the second the GOAT walked out the door, that aura vanished into thin air. The Patriot way turned into a bad joke. By 2024, the organization slammed into rock bottom with a shameful 4-13 finish. The attack had no pulse. The defense was ancient history, and the coaching staff looked hopelessly lost in today's game. Drake Maye, the golden boy out of North Carolina, flashed glimpses of that elite ceiling, but the rookie was left on a deserted island. He was the most pulverized quarterback in the entire NFL, scrambling for survival behind a turnstile offensive line, tossing balls to receivers who couldn't get separation if their lives depended on it. The fans were grabbing their pitchforks. The Kraft family finally understood you can't construct a tomorrow using yesterday's blueprints. They needed someone to blow it all up and a fresh architect to rebuild. Wait a second. We've got major breaking news. Adam Schefter, you're on. Okay, Greeny, it is official. The New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel have inked a contract, naming him the next head coach in Foxborough. That was the instant the tide turned. Mike Vrabel, a guy who bleeds New England red, white, and blue. A 3-time Super Bowl champion who understood the franchise's soul but carried the modern edge required to thrive in the current NFL. Vrabel didn't just arrive with a scheme. He brought a standard. He instilled grit, organization, and a terrifying level of responsibility. The message was unmistakable. The holiday is over. The Empire was hitting back, returning with a 4-man pressure package. All day in the pocket, launches it down the left sideline, picked off at the 25-yard line and racing up the left flank. The offseason of 2025 will be remembered as the clinic that salvaged Drake Maye's career. Vrabel and the brass didn't just shop for players. They shopped for a culture. Job number 1, solidify the trenches with their premium draft assets. They snagged left tackle Will Campbell and guard Jared Wilson. 2 road graders designed to make sure Maye never took a beating like the shellacking he endured in 2024. Those giants are the foundation. Then they added a jolt of electricity. TreVeyon Henderson, a home run hitter at running back who transformed routine checkdowns into highlight reel dashes. But the massive seismic shift came via free agency. Stefon Diggs, a bona fide elite wideout, giving Drake the safety blanket and route-running technician he was desperate for. Defensively, Vrabel reconstructed the monster. Harold Landry was signed to be a nightmare off the edge. Carlton Davis got the bag to lock down the field opposite Christian Gonzalez, while Milton Williams was brought inside to create absolute chaos in the backfield. The result, a 14-3 regular season tear. The AFC East crown resides in Foxborough once again. New England secured the number 2 seed. But as any local fan will tell you, the regular season is just the warm-up act. The real war begins in January. Henderson sets up in the single back set. The toss goes right to TreVeyon. He hesitates, hits the hole, and turns on the Jets. He blazes past the 40, the 35. He's loose at the 30, 20. Only one man to beat. Touchdown Patriots. It was wild card weekend. The Los Angeles Chargers marched into Gillette, carrying a lethal reputation and an attack poised to kill. They had the firepower to torch a scoreboard if the quarterback had time to breathe, but they neglected to account for the Foxborough chill and a Mike Vrabel-led defense. The final tally, 16-3, paints the entire picture of the brand of brutality the Patriots have embraced. It was ugly. It was physical. It was vintage New England ball. The contest started with jitters. Drake Maye, making his playoff debut, looked like a youngster, feeling the suffocating pressure of the moment. His initial series were up and down, a pattern that has characterized his 2025 postseason journey. But while the offense sputtered, the defense was a brick wall. Harold Landry piled up multiple sacks. Carlton Davis completely blanketed the Chargers' top targets. And Christian Gonzalez was downright smothering. Looking at the stat sheet, Maye's numbers were downright ugly. A 58.6 completion rate, 268 air yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. There were moments he looked like a rookie all over again, freezing like a deer in headlights and taking a sack when he should have just thrown the ball away. But when the game was on the line, he took charge of that offense and made the plays that counted. By the time the final whistle blew, the Chargers were completely shut down, managing a measly 3 points. The Patriots weathered the storm and officially booked their ticket to the divisional round. We are down to the final 60 seconds of regulation. Herbert lines up with twin receivers to the left on 2nd and 4. He drops back. The pocket collapses around him, and he gets absolutely leveled. What a sack. If the wild card game was a defensive masterclass, the divisional showdown against the Houston Texans was a test of pure grit and heart. Houston came into Foxborough with a high-octane defense and a rookie quarterback looking to make a name for himself on the biggest stage. When the clock hit 0, the scoreboard read Patriots 28, Texans 16. Don't let the score fool you. Though, this was a brutal trench war that New England almost gave away with some sloppy, self-inflicted mistakes. Drake Maye's postseason ride kept twisting and turning, but this drop was steep. He threw a bad pick and got crushed in the backfield, coughing up the football more than once. For a second there, it felt like the nightmares of the 2024 season were coming back to haunt the stadium. Houston grabbed the momentum early, silencing the home crowd. But that is exactly when the X factor kicked in. Instead of folding, this team turned into steel. The defense wasn't about to let their quarterback's mistakes end their season. Milton Williams was a monster on the defensive line, collapsing the pocket and forcing the Houston quarterback into panic mode. You had guys like Harold Landry, K'Lavon Chaisson, and Christian Gonzalez playing out of their minds all game long. That is when the running game started to eat. Following the massive block set by Will Campbell and Jarrett Wilson, TreVeyon Henderson and Rhamondre Stevenson turned into a two-headed monster, just pounding that Houston defensive front into the dirt. Even though Maye had a turnover-filled day and looked shaky, he showed some serious guts to bounce back, and the team just refused to quit. They locked down that 28-16 win and stamped their pass straight to the AFC Championship. That is elite defense. Baby, let's go. Hey, eyes up here, bring it in close, tighten it up. Man, listen, I can't wait to tell the world I coach this squad. All right, it is an absolute privilege to lead you guys. Man, heading into the AFC title matchup, there is really only one name dominating the conversation in New England. Drake Maye. You look at his stats, and they just don't make any sense together. The kid has the arm to make every throw in the book, the size to shrug off defenders, and the legs to create something out of nothing. We have seen the flashes of greatness, deep bombs to Buta and Diggs, crucial runs on 3rd down, but we are also seeing those rookie mistakes spilling over into year 2. To be fair, that kind of turbulence is par for the course for a young quarterback in the playoffs. Fortunately, this roster is built to win games even when Maye isn't playing perfect football. This defense is playing with a level of ferocity we haven't seen in Foxborough since the dynasty days of the 2010s with Brady. The running game is lethal, and the receivers on the outside are constantly blowing the game wide open. Mike Vrabel has built a machine here that doesn't need Drake Maye to be prime Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes every single week. They just need the best version of Drake Maye, the one who trusts his playmakers and takes care of the rock. Now, only one hurdle stands between the New England Patriots and a trip to the Super Bowl, the Denver Broncos. Looking at the matchup on paper, the road to glory just got a whole lot smoother for New England. Denver's star quarterback Bo Nix suffered a nasty injury last week, so they are rolling with Jarrett Stidham. To the average fan, that sounds like a total mismatch. A backup QB stepping into a high-pressure January game against a Mike Vrabel defense that has blowout written all over it. But in this league, this is the definition of a trap game. You have to remember, Denver still has a top-5 defense. They are physical, disciplined, and they live off turnovers. They know exactly how to steal a win here. They don't need their backup to throw for 300 yards. They just need him to manage the game while their defense makes life miserable for Drake Maye.